What's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about Storm Release, also known as Gale Style, Storm Style, or Ranton. Storm Release is a nature release Kekkei Genkai composed of lightning release and water release, though despite what both its name and composition may lead you to believe, it has nothing to do with the manipulation of storms or thunderclouds. It's actually a pretty literal combination of these two natures, as Storm Release involves the manipulation of electricity that flows in the same way that water does. In layman's terms, this allows a person to manipulate lasers and other condensed beams of energy. At least as far as I'm aware anyway, because what do you know? Storm Release hasn't been explored all that heavily. Who would have guessed? Storm Release, like many of the other Kekkei Genkai I've talked about, has pretty much no showings at all. It has a grand total of two ninjutsu classified under it in the manga, and consequently, I'm left with very little to say about it. Now, granted, both of these techniques do work just as I've said all Storm Release techniques do, so at the very least it keeps the concept from being too confusing, but still, only two of them? Whatever. Anyway, these two techniques are Storm Release Laser Circus and Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang. The first of these two that I'll talk about is Storm Release Laser Circus. Well, its name actually translates to Storm Release Encouraging Crushing Chain Tormenting Principle, but the Romaji for the name is Ranton Reiza Sakasu, and I guess the dubbing team just thought that this sounded enough like Laser Circus to just make Laser Circus the technique's English name. Not that I blame them. Laser Circus is a pretty fitting name for this technique, and it rolls off the tongue quite a bit more easily than Encouraging Crushing Chain Tormenting Principle does. So hey, whatever. If the shoe fits, yeah. Anyway, Laser Circus is a pretty cool technique. It's the only Storm Release technique that Darui has actually used, but it's pretty versatile, so I can see why he falls back on it so often. Laser Circus involves the manipulation of a volley of energy beams that the user can alter the direction of mid-flight. It can be used to strike multiple targets at once with a portion of the technique's full power, or to strike one person with the full force of the laser barrage. Sage Art Storm Release Light Fang is a storm release technique enhanced by Senjutsu, of course, and involves the user creating a thin beam of energy that they release from their mouth. This beam of energy is allegedly really hard to dodge since it supposedly moves at light speed, 186,000 miles per second, and is also apparently capable of cutting through truth-seeking orbs, even though those nullify all ninjutsu, so I don't know how it works. Now, I kind of lied at the beginning of the video, not only when I said there are only two storm release techniques, but also when I said that it has nothing to do with the manipulation of storms or thunderclouds. But I wasn't entirely lying, because what I said is true if we're speaking manga only. But in Naruto Shippuden the movie The Will of Fire, there's a guy called Hiruko who can in fact manipulate storm clouds, and it is confirmed that he does this by using storm release. One of the thunderclouds absorbs chakra, and the other one just shoots lightning out at people when they get too close to it, so I don't see what keeps it from being a lightning release technique, but I'm not one of the writers, so whatever. Anyway, that's all there is to say about Storm Release, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here. This was the most heavily requested nature release Kekkei Genkai for me to talk about in the comments of the last video, and the one I saw the second most amount of support for was Explosion Release, so I'm gonna be covering that next week. Of course, as always, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to get updates when I post new content, maybe leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to leave a comment below if you have any ideas for future anime lore videos you want me to do. Thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Hope to see you in my next video, and I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.